Hello everyone and welcome to the Great Shittish Bake Off. I am Gordon Scott Dick Cheese and I'm here to bake a cake for you. Now this is a totally original recipe. We're not going to be using this box whatsoever. We're definitely not, I promise you, we're not. We're going to be using it. So, let's get started. Now, I don't quite know what cake I'm going to be doing, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of a twist on an old school cake, but with a bit of diabetes put inside.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweets?
Diabetes.
So, first of all, what you want to do is, you want to get your eggs, first of all, and no you don't want to get your eggs first. What you want to do is, you want to get your mixture and just put it into a nice mixing bowl. There we go. Get it all in there, because it's Betty Crocker and every pound, every ounce is about £5. Right, so we've done that. Then next, you want to get your eggs, and here's a trick that not many people know. They think, oh, we'll put the eggs in first. No. What you do is, you whisk the eggs exteriorly. Let me show you. Shit, I've spilt it on my hair comb, but it's okay. Oh, nice, fantastic. We'll just put that to the side. How's your day been, guys? Been doing good? Been doing good? Split. Now this doesn't have to be perfect and yolky. You're not frying it, you know. It doesn't have to be absolutely grande. But my name is Gordon Dick Cheese after all, and I have very high standards, you see. And what you want to do is, if you've made a little bit of a mess, you clean up as you go along, you dirty pigs. Clean up as you go along. So, you've got your eggs in your little jug. You just want to spin your fork around like that. You just whisk it until it's just pure yellow, nice and mixed together. The act of doing this is making sure that the eggs are nice and strong. The eggs is what keeps it all together and keeps it tasting, well, eggy. You just want to keep going along and going along and going along. And then, what you want to do is, you want to put the wet into the dry. There we go. It's going to look something a little bit like that. And then, what you want to do is, you want to get yourself some butter. Now, I'll show you what you're going to do with your butter. What you want to do is, you want to get a little bit of butter, as it says on here, just a bit, and you want to heat it up, or if it's soft enough, put it straight in. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a bit of butter, a bit of milk, mix that together, and then put that in. Let's have a go. What you're going to do is, you're going to get your butter out with one of these spanky thingies. You just slice it, just nice and gently. You don't want too much butter. That should be about enough. Let's get it in there. Oh, go on, drop. Do you know what? We're feeling a bit fruity. So, we'll have a bit more butter. You just want to peel it off with your finger. Just like that. Okay. So, oh, got a bit of butter on my finger. This is not good. So, as you can see what I'm doing there, the butter is just there, it's just on its own, it's nice and soft. I go with the utterly buttery, and then I leave it out for just a bit, just so it softens a bit nicer. And then what you want to do is, you want to have just a little bit of milk, just a little bit, about 180 millilitres of milk. So you get your jug, you sit it straight, make sure it's eye line. You're not going to see me for a minute, so I am sorry. You want to get right down, look directly at it, and call it a pussy. You're a pussy. Just a little bit of milk, not too much. You don't want it too runny, but just add a bit more. Now, if you don't mind me I'm gonna go put this milk and butter back. This house is haunted. Alright, we're back. That's about saving money, cost of living, you see. So you've got your milk and butter in here. You just want to stir it around so it's just soaking in. You want to make sure that the butter is kind of not too lumpy, but it's still reminiscent, if you get me. This would probably better if you warmed it, but then again, you'd be cooking the cake then.
This guy don't even know what he's talking about. Just shut up, Callum.
So then that's not good. So you're just getting it around like that. You could use a whisk, but I like to use this because it takes the piss and it extends the video, and you guys get to watch me for longer, and we love that. So just about this sort of consistency. There's a little bits of butter in. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour this in. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Callum, you're absolutely drowning it. What are you doing? No, promise you, trust the process. Trust the process. That's what I always say. Now, you want to make sure it's like that. I know what you're thinking. Absolutely disgusting. But let's do the magic. You want it to be a nice, thick and sort of creamy consistency. You really want to get in there with it. You want to make sure that every single little bit of dryness is out. This takes time, this takes effort, this takes years to perfect. But me, Gordon Dick Cheese, I'm quite good at it. So you just want to get it going around and around and around and around until there's no lumps. You just want it nice and fluffy. Nice and fluffy. The way you can tell if it's air bubbly is if you just poke your finger in, and if that just folds back again, then it's pretty good. You want it sort of that almost dropping consistency. Now, if you don't like whisking, then sadly you're a paedophile. But if you don't like whisking, which I get you can also use one of these which just folds it together. It just brings it all, and you can get more in there because the spiral thing is of the whisk sometimes isn't great. You want to kind of fold it and make sure what you're doing is you're kind of seeing a gap in your bowl, and if you can see to the bottom of the bowl and that there's no whatsoever any dry flour, you just want a nice good consistency. As you can see there, look at that, you've got almost just a drop-in sort of sensation. It's nice and thick, but it's still creamy. But you're still going to put some more effort in, keep going until it's your preferred consistency. I like a nice spongy cake, so I'm going to keep doing this until it's nice and smooth. I'll speed this up for you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Hello. So next, all this mixture is nice and smooth. It's good. I'm going to preheat the oven soon. We're going to be setting it at about, let's have a look, what does it say? Do you know what? I'll put it on at 180. It says to cook for 22 to 27 minutes. This is your baking tin. Now, some people will just put it straight in. What I like to do is I like to get a bit of butter and a sprinkle of flour, just so the cake doesn't stick. Let's go get some butter and spread it on my nice new baking tray. In this one, we're going to experiment. We're not actually going to use any flour to stick it down. So, what you want to do is you want to make sure you've not got any excess on your spanky number. And I'm calling it a spanky number because I've got a kink for it. I like being spanked with it. So, you got your baking tray. You got a little bit of butter. You don't need too much. You know, cost of living. Just about that will do. And you want to put it on. If you've got one of the packet butters, it's really easy because then you can just turn it inside out, spread it along. There's one of your many tips from Gordon Dick Cheese. You just want to spread it all along. Make sure you're doing the bottom, make sure you're doing the sides, and just anywhere you think that cake will touch. Now the cake is going to rise, so you probably are going to want to leave the butter quite high along the sides. Now don't think that your cake's going to go all runny and oily and buttery. What it is I don't want this cake to stick to this. I want it a nice smooth consistency. I want no breaks in the sponge. I want nothing of the sort. I'm going to use just a little bit more butter just to be sure, making sure that every single area is nicely coated. As you can see, it's quite fun. You can do this with the kids. I can't do it with my kids because they're currently in the basement. But yes, so there you have it. It's nicely buttered up. And then what you want to do with this is you want to turn it to the side, bend over now it's buttoned up, and you just want to shove it straight up your. Next job, what you want to do is you want to pour your cake into your tin. Let me show you how that's done. Alright, so let's give it a go. So you just want to pour it straight in, just as you do, nice and smooth. Shake it out if you have to. Get it all out there. You don't want to cook a donut. You don't want to cook a small cake. You want every single last bit. I found that out the hard way, I'm afraid. But my cake was still good. Chantel, my cake was way better than yours. You know it was. Don't even rival Gordon Dick Cheese, because that's my name. I earned that name in the streets for being one of the greatest bakers of all time, you see. And you just want to get it all out of there, even along the sides. If you have trouble doing it, put a splash of milk in. It won't do anything. I'm not going to put a splash of milk in because I don't really trust it. But you guys can make that error and tell me if it's alright. So, you're just pushing it down. Make sure it's all around the sides, and I'll show you what it looks like in a little moment. This next method, although I'm not showing you that well, is literally just to spread it around the sides, and then I'll show you another trick. You're just making sure it's filling every single corner, making sure that there's no gaps or loops. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of just shake it side to side so it really is filling to the sides, and you want to pat it down so that it's making sure that the cake is going straight down and there's no air pockets and there's no rips. You're just pushing it down like that, making sure that the cake on top is nice and smooth. You don't want to see any holes, you don't want to see any breakages, you don't want to see anything of that kind. Making sure that each end of the batter is nice and smooth. Now, I'm going to show you it in a minute. Just edging it around, just like that. And there we go. You've got your cake in your tin. There you go, your cake is in your tin. It's nice and smooth. As you can see, there's butter around the edges, so if this cake rises, which it will, it won't stick to the sides, it won't stick to the bottom, and that is nice and smooth. I know what you're thinking, oh, there's little air bubbles, but no, it's fine, it's fine. No cake is ever perfect, apart from mine, because like I said, it's Gordon Dick Cheese for a reason. Now, let's get this bad boy into the oven. What you want to do now is, you want to clean up. Let's get doing that, because my mummy's not here. She won't do it for me. She's gone to Skegness. I see what she's done. I see what she's done. I see what she's done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the cake is out. You got a nice, if you can hear that, nice and crispy, still spongy though. If you're wondering what those rips are, basically how you test if it's cooked, you stick your knife in, and if there's no bits left on, that's how you know your cake's done. Now, absolutely want to just dive into there, but I'm afraid you can't just yet. You have to let it rest. It's absolutely annoying. I know. I hate this part. Now I've got to go sit down. I want to eat it. Oh, I can't take it anymore. I can't let it rest for any longer. So, here's a tip to getting your cake out your tin nice and smooth. Now this could go wrong, but it's fine, it's cake. So if you can get your knife round, See, I can get mine round perfectly. It's not even touching the edges. You just want to make sure it goes all the way round. Make sure that it's not stuck to the edges. And then, here's your... Some cake tins, like mine, you've got this little bit. This is going to be quite hot. So you want to be very careful. You just want to open it like that. Like this. As best as you can. And I'll get the cake out and then I'll show you. Concentration. Let me just put you on my tripod. I got this from B&M. It's a tenner. Absolutely gorgeous it is. Now, this is going to probably burn, but we've got our oven mitts, so we're okay. So, just want to carefully just... Oh, I've not finished with the thing yet. Just carefully pull it off. Very carefully. Right. Pull. There we go. Come straight off, as you see. A little bit sort of thingied around the edges, but it's fine. It'll still work. The cake looks absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you. Show you. Clip you back into me selfie stick. That beauty. That is a proper cake. That it's thick. It's got your little rainbow chips. I promise it's not mould. It does look like mould, doesn't it? But I promise it's rainbow. Next, the decoration. So here I have some vanilla frosting from Morrison's. I normally use the Betty Crocker one, but it's a bit expensive and it's just not worth the price. So let me show you how it's done. Right, so there's many ways of doing this. Most people like to put water in it, heat it up, but your frosting isn't meant to be hot. It's not a good idea. So you just want to get that off. And it says to stir well. Oh God, we've flipped it off. Smells really nice, it's fresh. So, just want to get a spoon. It's really thick. Stir it nice and well. Just get a spoon in. There we go. Oh yeah. That looks wrong, that. Right, let's get it on the cake. Right, so now it's nicely mixed together. You want to just spoon it on as much as you want. Not a lot. If you don't want a lot, it's fine. The cake's still nice and warm, so it'll make it easier to spread it on. So you just want a spoon. Dollop it on top, keep going until you've got your desired amount. Now, what I like to do is, I don't like to use a spoon, I like to use one of these. So I'm going to get on my knees for this, and you're spreading it in circles around the top. Just nice circular motion until you've got it to a nice sort of level that you want it to be. Here we go. Going along as we go. There. I'll come back when it's done. So, you've got your cream out. I think that looks pretty good. Then, I'll show you what I've got. I've got some Bueno Minis. I've got some Reese's Pieces, little buttons, and I've got some sprinkles. So, come back when it's done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the cake finished. Got some little Buenos, sprinkles, and Reese's Pieces peanut butter. Let's give it a taste test. Don't worry, I've already taken pictures. I'm going to take myself a little slice, and I mean a little slice. Now just look at the beauty of that sponge. As you can see, it's really, really squishy. In there as well, nice and squishy. That's how you want it. Almost bread-like, if you will. Let's give it a taste test. I'm going to be a posh twat and use a fork. Strike it down just there. Let's have a go. I can't pick it up, it's that spongy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That right there is why my name It's Gordon Dick Cheese. You guys have been oh my oh my god. Right, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna eat the cake. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, little bit of bueno. Oh, little bit more bueno. Right, thank you guys for watching. See you later.